On a night of February 2nd, 2024, a man wearing a helmet was seen inside an apartment building in Madrid, Spain. He was covering the security cameras with black spray paint and taping door locks with duct tape. An hour later, he left the building with a large suitcase. That same night, Anna Knezevich, an American-Colombian woman, vanished without a trace from the same apartment building. Anna is still missing, but someone close to her had a meticulous plan to commit the perfect crime. Little did he know, he left behind a trail of digital evidence that led him straight into his own trap. Thank you for joining me today to discuss the Anna Knezevich case. Please subscribe and like, it helps my small channel grow in so many ways and it means the world to me. Anna Knezevich moved to Madrid, Spain from South Florida in late December 2023, trying to escape a difficult separation from her husband of 13 years, David Knezevich. But instead of finding freedom and peace, her story turned into an international murder mystery. It all started on February 3rd, 2024, when Anna's friends became worried about a couple of text messages she sent. The messages didn't sound like her usual way of communicating, and it was later discovered that someone else had sent them, pretending to be Anna. The messages read, "I met someone wonderful. He has a summer house about 2 hours from Madrid. We are going there now, and I'll spend a few days there. Signal is spotty. I'll call you when I get back. Yesterday after therapy, I needed a walk, and he approached me on the street. Amazing connection, like I never had before." Sana Ramo, Anna's best friend from South Florida, said in an interview that she was very confused and concerned.
I tried to respond saying that I got worried about her, like it didn't sound safe, like what is she talking about, like this makes no sense, and my messages didn't go through.
But Anna never returned and was never seen again. Over the next few months, a multinational investigation has started with investigators from Spain, the US, and Serbia, all working closely to make sense of what happened to Anna that night. Because people don't just disappear into thin air from their apartment. Anna Knezevich was born in Colombia into a hard-working family. From a young age, she was ambitious and business-minded. She earned a degree in international trade and administration and launched her career in the manufacturing and medical industries. In her 20s, Anna made the life-changing decision to move to South Florida, US, and that is where she met David Knezevich, a Serbian man who also lived in the US. They fell in love, married, and settled in a Fort Lauderdale, Florida area. David and Anna were both ambitious in business, and they founded several businesses providing IT support to local companies in the South Florida area. David was the CEO, and Anna was serving as the project manager for clients. Together, they created a successful business and were seen as a power couple in South Florida community. Their success also boosted their financial stability, allowing them to own several properties worth a few $1,000,000. However, behind their success and closed doors, their marriage was showing signs of strain. The pressure of managing multiple businesses, coupled with personal differences, created a rift between them that only grew with time. By late 2023, the tension between Anna and David had reached a breaking point. Anna made a difficult decision to file for divorce and start over. In late December 2023, she relocated to Madrid, Spain, seeking a fresh start far away from the life that she built with David in Florida. Madrid offered Anna the chance to rediscover herself. She rented a high-end apartment in an exclusive Salamanca district and embraced the rich culture and history the Spanish capital has to offer. She was making new friends and seemed to enjoy every minute of her new life in Europe. Back in the United States, David was struggling to cope with the separation. Despite the physical miles between them, his obsession with Anna grew, fueled by jealousy and a desire for control. On the night of February 2nd, 2024, Anna spoke with a friend on a phone around 8:30 p.m. and she told them she had no plans to go out that evening. It was the last time anyone would hear from her. But what happened afterwards remains a mystery. The next morning, a neighbor noticed that the lenses on the security cameras had been covered with black spray paint. And the lights in Anna's apartment were still on at 1 a.m. the following day. Sana Ramo knew something was wrong when she didn't hear from Anna for 2 days. The two women were very close friends and spoke daily. Sana had plans to visit Madrid on February 8th, and they have already met in Austria in January.
Because she is just so caring, she is so sweet, she is just so soft, she is funny, she is smart, she's adventurous. Someone has done something to her, and I'm trying to understand who it could be and why.
She contacted the Madrid police and asked them to do a welfare check. Spanish firefighters visited Anna's apartment on February 4th, but she was nowhere to be found. And her front door was locked from the outside. Later, when the authorities started their investigation and checked the apartment for any clues, they noticed that Anna's phone, laptop, and chargers were missing, but everything else seemed to be in order. It was when they reviewed the building's CCTV footage that concerning details emerged. Anna was last recorded by security cameras entering her apartment building around 2:30 p.m. that day. In the evening, around 9:27 p.m., the cameras captured a man wearing a helmet entering the building as people were leaving. Once inside, the man used spray paint to cover the CCTV camera lenses in a hallway and elevator. He then applied duct tape to the building's front entrance lock. About an hour later, around 10:30 p.m., the same man, with the helmet still on, was seen leaving the building with a large suitcase. The suitcase raised terrifying questions as to what or who may have been inside. The suspicious activity pointed to the possibility that Anna's disappearance may have been premeditated. Meanwhile, a missing person alert for Anna began to flood Spain, appearing on ATM machines, online platforms, and television broadcasts. The alerts were viewed over 15 million times in the week following her disappearance, thanks to the efforts of a Spanish missing persons volunteer organization. Anna's brother, Felipe Henao, also reported her missing to the Fort Lauderdale police on February 7th. Felipe disclosed that the separation between Anna and her husband David had been, quote, nasty, due to the significant financial assets involved, saying that, quote, there was a substantial amount of money on a line to be split up between the two, end quote. The couple had separated after 13 years of marriage and were in process of divorcing. But tensions were running high due to the financial assets and property ownership. David's jealousy of Anna and her desire for independence had led to several arguments before their split. Since they owned 3 businesses, multiple properties, and other assets, we can only assume that the divorce was a complicated mess legally and emotionally, especially when one of them is greedy and would like to keep it all to themselves. Despite these concerns, David Knezevich, who was in Serbia at the time of Anna's disappearance, was not initially named as a suspect or even a person of interest in the case. His attorney stated that his client denied any involvement and was fully cooperating with the investigation and expressed hope that Anna would be found safe. Soon after, the FBI joined Spanish investigators, and things turned weird. While it's unusual for someone to simply vanish without a trace, Anna's case seemed to be just that. She disappeared into thin air. Now, despite David being in Serbia at the time, the evidence started pointing in his direction. The investigation took a dark turn when the FBI discovered the text messages sent from Anna's phone to her friends the day after her disappearance were not actually sent by Anna, but by David. David met a Colombian woman a few months prior on a dating app, and on February 3rd, he asked her to translate a message into, quote, perfect Colombian, for a friend of his in Serbia. After seeing the news about Anna's disappearance, the woman came forward and confirmed that she translated the messages for him, and at the time she was unaware that his wife was missing. Meanwhile, David had been cooperating with the investigation, providing his credit card details and all the information they were asking out of him. He was acting like he had nothing to hide, but little did he know, he left a trail of breadcrumbs, each one leading investigators closer to the truth. In the end, he became entangled into his own web of lies and traps, with no escape out. Although Anna was missing, the evidence led authorities to focus on David. When they examined his travel history, they uncovered concerning details that started to piece together a picture of what may have happened to her. Records show that David traveled from Miami to Istanbul, Turkey on January 27, 2024, and then continued to Belgrade, Serbia, where he rented a small Peugeot car on January 29. The car was returned 5 weeks later with over 7,600 kilometers on it. This distance is equivalent to traveling from Belgrade, Serbia, to Madrid, Spain, and then back to Belgrade. The rental agency owner mentioned that in addition to the extensive mileage, the car was returned with black tinted windows, which it didn't have before. And it was another indication that David may have been trying to hide his identity or activities. David is also suspected of stealing 2 license plates from a car that was on the same street where Anna lived in Spain. These stolen plates were then added to the rented car. Spanish traffic cameras captured footage of the car with the stolen plates and tinted windows at the traffic booth just outside Madrid. On the same day, the owner of the car reported them stolen to the police. Unfortunately, no view of the driver was possible due to the black tinted windows. The authorities then tracked down the local store that sold the brand of paint that was used to cover the security cameras. Footage from that hardware store in Madrid showed someone who looked just like David purchasing the same brand of black spray paint and 2 rolls of duct tape on February 2nd, which is the same day that Anna disappeared. The authorities later matched this footage with a video from Anna's building. Before spray painting over the lens, the man looked directly into the camera, resulting in a partial view of his face. And the man looks just like David. Same eyes, same eyebrows, and similar body type. However, he didn't cover the camera lenses well enough, and the footage captured him using the same duct tape he had purchased earlier to tape the building's door lock, disabling it to prevent entry. After spending about an hour inside, he exited the elevator with a large suitcase. Now, Anna was about 4'11" and 100 pounds, so leaving room for interpretation regarding the suitcase. His actions were methodical and deliberate, ensuring that no footage would capture what was happening inside the building, and it demonstrated a clear intent to cover his truck and potentially transport something or someone out of the building undetected. Or so he thought. The timing and location of the car movements have led investigators to believe that David was stalking Anna and he planned all of this. Investigators discovered that on March 4th, someone pretending to be Anna called 3 insurance companies to cancel the policies. Children could be heard in the background of these calls, even though Anna did not have any children. Additionally, an employee from one of David's companies revealed that David had provided Anna's social security number to her and instructed her to impersonate Anna and open up a new bank account for payments, he said. With this mounting evidence, David Knezevich was arrested and charged with kidnapping on May 4th at the Miami International Airport as he was trying to come back home. Although Anna's body has not been found, the case against him is strong, built on digital, physical, and circumstantial evidence that points to his involvement in Anna's disappearance. He was charged with kidnapping only because, as the saying goes, no body, no crime. However, the authorities firmly believe that Anna is deceased and that David is responsible. As the investigation progresses, experts suggest that murder charges are likely to be introduced. The FBI had been seen searching for her body in the watersheds near the Madrid, but so far, they haven't had any luck in finding her. Despite his claim of innocence and pleading not guilty, the evidence continues to pile up, leaving David entangled into a web of lies with no clear escape. Please note that this is an ongoing investigation. David's legal team was trying to argue for his release on bond, but Anna's brother Felipe Henao strongly believes that David is a flight risk. Felipe had pointed out that David has sold real estate in a value of a few $1,000,000, which he claims he doesn't have anymore. And because he has the financial needs, he may very well try to escape. As David prepares to face the consequences of his actions, the authorities and Anna's loved ones remain determined to uncover the truth behind her disappearance. But will they be able to find Anna's body? Or her disappearance will remain a mystery concealed by a man who seemed willing to do anything to escape justice for the sake of money? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. Have a beautiful day and stay safe and kind.